Hello, today is Friday. It is 4:13 after the close, August 26, 2022. Today's session is titled, Is the Stock Market Doomed? And this is your weekend report. Hello, this is Jonathan Gurney, Portfolio Manager at Gurney Financial. This post is for informational use only. The views expressed are those of the author, Jonathan M. Gurney. This material is not intended to be relied upon as a forecast, research, or investment advice and is not a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or to adopt any investment strategy. In short, we're trying to keep our clients aware of how we did during the week, the moves we made, things we learned. Overall, we had a great first 4 days, and Friday unfortunately killed me. So very, very frustrating, but we'll go through the charts and give you a realistic perspective of what we're seeing. Bulls still have a chance here, though they're running out of time. So still have a shot here. I know Friday was ugly, but many times if I get stuck in this situation, I've learned just to wait for a little bit of a bounce and make a decision at that point. So we're gonna hit the charts. Okay, so here is, let me update this real quick. Make sure it's updated. So here's the performance for the week. Ugly week. To be honest with you, it was not that bad until today. I mean, we show you the today performance. It's most of the actual downfall intraday. So look at the week right there. So you can see most of the performance was given back due to the week, which is very, very frustrating. So the S&P 500 was down 4.04% for the week. How did we do? Well, let me just say that this is not 2021. 2021, you could have legitimately got away with about 4 trades the entire year. This week, we had 12 trades, and we were doing fantastic up until Friday. Some of that's on me. Some of that is very, very just difficult trading in general. So you can see Monday, gap down. I bought at the close and decided, hey, I'm going to keep losses very, very small here. And we were inching very, very well throughout Thursday. Into Friday, it was 50% in the queue. So 50% invested, that's it. I took a lot of profits. The problem was this, is I began to add at key levels on the way down, and we kept losing key levels. I added today at 41.66, 65, 41.65, and 41.92 today, and that hurt me. 41.66 was lost very, very quickly. I thought I would have had more support there, but it did not. It was lost, and it happened so fast. I kept waiting, which is a no-no, and unfortunately, it got uglier. So now you're in a situation where, again, we still beat the market by 2%, which is extremely difficult to do. I'm not happy with this. I'm very, very frustrated, but keep a level head. Take a breather here. Here's what I'm seeing. I think we do have a chance. Bulls do have a chance here. It's just at that chance, how does price action react at that level? So I've made so many mistakes in the past of selling right into this at the very, very close. It goes a little bit lower, and then Friday gaps up, and I'm behind the curve again. And so I opted not to sell into the close. I know seasonality is not exactly the greatest. I'm wondering, I'm not going to make any assumptions here, but I do wonder if we're going to potentially go off the seasonality chart soon, because I think this is going to lead to a huge put-call ratio, very high put-call ratio. I'm not going to make any assumptions. It's not pretty under the table, but would it surprise me to potentially get a bounce here? Wouldn't surprise me here. So I'm invested pretty hard in the Qs, which unfortunately they got spanked today. But overall, you can see like we would have had a positive month, positive week, then this happened. So I feel it. I'm not lying to you. I definitely feel it. That's extremely frustrating. But I want to show you the charts to give you a realistic perspective of next steps and what I'm seeing in my thoughts. The week, obviously, if I refresh this, is probably even a little bit worse. Yes, so it was just not a good week. The areas that did better were the areas you think would do better. The conservative areas, utilities, energy obviously is the one that tends to do well right now because of all the fluctuation across seas with wars and missiles being flown everywhere, shot everywhere. So nothing surprises me there. Here's the deal. This is pretty extended short term. The VIX, we broke out. I thought we were going to test this gap, to be honest with you, but it reversed very quickly. So it's very, very trappy market. The VIX, just so you're aware, the VIX is a volatility index. It doesn't necessarily measure greed or anything like that, but it's basically a volatility. It doesn't necessarily measure fear. Forgive me, I got a text and got off guard a little bit there. But overall, the VIX, this is not exactly what you want to see, but it's a pretty huge move pretty quick. So I think we have some potential for a little bounce in the S&P 500 in areas next week. Let me switch gears to this. So less than 5 minutes. Let me start this. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. All right. So the 10 leading stocks, obviously nasty week. But again, most of this was today. That's not an excuse. It's just the reality of the situation. Most of this, as you can see, if I go back and forth between here, most of this was today. So most of the give back was today. It's very unfortunate. Let's go to the main chart here. Okay, so this, I need to update this, so ignore this. But in short, we are testing right now after the market closed. Of course, it's a panic sell situation. Everybody wants to get out. 40.50 we are at right now. And you can see generally when we test these Bollinger Bands, usually it's not a bad area to begin adding positions. So this is why even though I was caught today in the wrong side, this is why I opt not to really panic in these situations, because you could get some relief. And here's also why I'm not panicking too much at this point. 1 second, got to switch gears. Here's a different time frame. This is what I was looking for. This is a little frustrating, but most oversold in 2022, double touch and down. That was in June. Same thing, most oversold, double touch, down. Now you can see here, we are extremely oversold. So I do not want to panic here. If we go below 40.50, I will likely get out because it probably means 4,000 is coming from a technical standpoint. So you can see here, the same thing exactly happened, but I'm interested if this is a little bit of a fake breakdown, and I'm hoping that we get a nice little rally. But we do have to be careful with seasonality, so people could panic and sell. I can tell you I received 10 calls based on performance at noon. So you can tell people are freaking out, which is actually, from my perspective, a good thing to see. But we'll take it day by day and evaluate whether risk reward is good. Right now, had I not been positioned long, I would be adding here. So I have to be realistic about that and say, sure, stop the bleeding. However, this is a situation where you have to think in the opposite and say, okay, we're pretty oversold here. Risk reward is not good to short here. You're either going to want to be in cash or try a long. And that's why I did not sell. So after the bell, after we closed, 40.50 was touched. So this needs to hold. And if not, 4,000 comes quickly and I will try to get out as soon as possible. So we still have a shot here for bulls do have a shot here. So do not panic yet. And if it does go much lower, I'm out. But you can see again, here's the short term. So I've shown you midterm. I've shown you short term here. Like both are extremely oversold. Doesn't mean it can't go lower, but odds are not in my favor if I were to go in cash or get out. Okay, so I've done this and I've learned many times when you have a 3-4% down day, the worst thing you can do is usually sell, because usually buyers come in overnight And even if it's right or wrong and doesn't hold, a lot of times you're better off just waiting for a little bounce and make a decision there to say, are buyers actually coming in or not? And today was just brutal. Zero buying. I mean, this is straight down. Zero buying whatsoever. I should have gotten out here, but you can see how quickly this moved. Like, no excuse. However, this is catching a falling knife. And I got in around here, and it just kept going lower. I wish I would have taken out, but I was like, man, at this point, it's so oversold. So it's tough. I'm just being realistic with you. It's not an easy situation, but overall, up to Thursday, things were looking pretty good. We were trading well. And again, not all these days am I long. I'm shorting and longing. So I'm going on both sides to create alpha. I made 12 trades, so I made plenty of trades to try to create alpha. We did beat the market. However, it was negative, so nobody's happy. So in terms of beating the market, which is what I'm trying to do, we beat the market this week. However, I don't want a negative week. You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's not an easy situation, but hang in there. There's a chance here that this could get bought. If it doesn't get bought quickly, it's right to either remain in cash or short. But right now, we're at like historical oversold levels. Not quite historical, but very, very oversold on certain time frames. So I did get stuck. Admittedly, not a good situation, not a good look. I actually positioned very, very well into this. I was 50% invested, took gains at the close yesterday, 50% invested here, and then added on the way down. And at every level I tried, it just tanked and it just kept going lower. And it's like, geez, it was literally trying to catch a falling knife, which is not what you want to be in. But at this point, I do not want to sell quite yet. I want to see what happens Monday and Tuesday, have a realistic perspective and not panic sell like everybody did today. I want to see what actually happens Monday and Tuesday and go in with an unbiased opinion to say, okay, we're positioned long here. Let's see if buyers come in. Days like this, the rationale is not good. I do not like this. I'll be objective about this and say, I do not like this. I do not like that we are below the 5-day moving average. However, that's a huge extension below the 5-day moving average, this orange line. It was curling up, which is usually a good thing. So I got long, and of course, into the meeting, we got absolutely spanked. Now, one more thing that I want to show is I've been wanting these gaps to be filled for forever. Since the beginning of August, we had a gap here, untested, gap here, gap here. Finally, we tested all of them in one day. So would you rather have a slow bleeder or would you rather have it happen in one day? Pick me. I would rather have it in one day. I'm not saying the selling's done, but I would rather see it done in one day. Wish I would done better today. We beat the market by about 2%. It's not easy. It's a very, very difficult environment, and you do not want to be pressing hard in these environments. So I feel like I actually got in at good levels that I think we will retry or test soon. But if we do not, I will get out and try again soon. So hang in there. We'll be okay. I know it's not pretty, but we'll be okay. Take a deep breath, just like I need to. All right, so that's all we got. Have a good one, guys. Have a good weekend. Say a prayer for my soul. See ya.